Hi guys, it's me again, Happysum. So today we're gonna talk about another deck list which someone requested the previous week. So today we're gonna talk about another Dragon Empire deck. The last time we talked about Dragon Egg Overlord. Now today we're gonna talk about the new variants of Vairina, which comes in the DBT02 Brush with the Legends, and you got the new Vairina Erger here, and we're gonna talk about the deck list. Okay, so first we start with the obvious one, the right lines. This is your usual right deck, nothing special here. It's just your usual Vairina red deck, Nirvana right deck, and you got 3 Nirvana as the grade 3, and you bring 2 Valiente. So usually in the previous deck list, in the BT01 deck list, people use 4 of Valiente, but now the play is not constructed around him anymore, so you don't need 4 Valiente, you just need 2 is enough. You still want him for the extra power and the extra finishing touch, which you may need in late game, or if you want to accelerate the game state from mid game to late game, you can use Valiente still. It's still a very good card, it's still a very good finisher, and it's a good pressure card. Especially during your personal right turn, it's really big. It has big columns and has an on-hit effects. You still want to bring it. So at least 2 in your deck. 3 or 4 is too much, I think, for this deck. And for the grade 2, we have 4 arcs. As usual, this never changed for arcs. But in this deck, arcs is becoming more important than the previous version of this deck. So in this version of the deck, you need arcs to draw into your combo piece much more faster, because before this was more like a beat down deck, and now you need a certain combo piece to finish your opponent. So that's 4 arcs, and the new boy, that's for Erger here, which is this card is really good. So he gives an extra option to the Nirvana deck, to the Overdress deck. He can give you extra power line or extra shield, and he can also countercharge 1, which this deck is badly need since the release of the first booster. You really need that countercharge, and now this deck got that countercharge. And 3 normal Vairina, just to search off from your right line, and maybe if you want to retire your opponent's get, but you will very rarely use that skill anymore, because much of the game your soul will be used for Erger and to unflip and get yourself another counter-blast resource to use for either Nirvana or maybe arcs or maybe even Valiente. And for the great ones, we got the obvious 4 perfect guards, and the new one is 3 Togachirashi. So Togachirashi skill is when you discard him, you can put him into the soul. So if you discard for riding through the right deck, you can put it in the soul, or if you discard it for Nirvana skill and to fetch up Trickstar, you can also put it in the soul. And you can refill your soul with Togachirashi, which is really important in this thing, because there's so much cards that use the souls. For example, like the Erger use 2 souls at once, and the right line use 1 soul, so you really want to fill up that soul, and it's really good to have a way to replace the soul. And then we have the 3 new Blaze Maiden. So this card right here, if you boost Trickstar, you get plus 5k, which means during your personal right turn, it will make a 28k line. Normally it's 18k, but if you on your personal right turn, it's 28k line. You can hit with it first, then overdress with Erger skill, and then just proceeds to Nirvana attack, and then you have like very big columns, and which is really hard to guard and potentially really deadly for your opponent. So that's the main deck list, and we're gonna go to the triggers. We got the obvious 4 heals, and we're playing with 4 fronts, 4 of the new fronts. It's really good. You can get an extra shield with this card, and giving this deck, usually you hit with your Vanguard first before your rear guard, because your rear guard is Nirvana is Vairina, either of any of the Vairina, and you want to pump with Nirvana skill first, so they all get plus 10k, which means your Vanguard attack first. If you check the front trigger, it will be really deadly, and you get an instant big 2 power line, a really big power line. And not to mention the extra shield, which is really good for this deck's defense, which is always been slacking in the previous boosters, but with the new front triggers and the new Erger, the defense is quite strong in this time. And then we got 7 crits, so 7 crits and 4 fronts. That is the trigger sets in this one is 4 heal, 7 crit, 4 front, and of course 1 of the trigger. And last but not least is the most important card in this deck is Trickstar. To play around Overdress, we play around Trickstar a lot. Whether we boost it with the new Blessed Maiden or we call it with Nirvana and just proceed to overdress it with any of the Vairina according to the situation that demands it. If you want to counter charge, you go with Erger. If you just want to draw, you go with Arcs. If you want to pop off your ordinary card, you go with the normal Vairina. If you want to go for an extra push, you can go with Valiente. So that's the deck. I think this deck becomes a really good all-around deck, jack of all trades deck. It can do a lot of things with this deck. You can play defensively, you can play aggressively. This is a very nice and balanced deck, and you're welcome to try it. If you have any other idea about this deck, feel free to tell me in the comment what your deck list looks like, and I will try them out, and I will get back to you in some sort of matches video and all to see how the deck's doing. Okay, so that's it for this week, and I will see you on the next video.